Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 10 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 10-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 5 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 5-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
on the Hawkeyes Sports Network. From Learfield, this is Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder. Presented by Oak Knoll, an active life care community. Also brought to you by Bud Light. It's for the fans. Hy-Vee. Score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. By University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank. Proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. And by Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit IALottery.com for details. Now, here is your host, Rob Brooks.
Hey, 3 wins in a row for the Hawkeye women's basketball team and 2 in the Big Ten Conference, of course, at Wisconsin and Minnesota last Saturday night. And in the middle of that, a huge victory over a very good Iowa State team. And now the Hawkeyes look forward to a potential state championship against the Northern Iowa Panthers at Carver Hawkeye Arena on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Iowa now 8-3 overall. Welcome to Bumps and Hawk Talk with Coach Lisa Bluder, now the all-time winningest coach in Big Ten regular season history. 234, huh? Well, congratulations, Coach. And
thank you.
You know, I bring it up because obviously fans give you a nice round of applause, well deserved. But 2 things that you talked about too, that Jan Jensen, Jenny Fitzgerald have been there every single step of the way.
One of them, every one of them.
And it had to be fun to hear from a lot of former players. I'm sure you did.
Yeah, it was. That's always the fun part. Anytime you have one of those milestones, is that you get to hear from different people that maybe you haven't heard from a while, or players. And so that's what's always fun about it. But you know, Vivi and I were going to connect the next day, and we haven't been able to. And so I've missed her call, and so I'm anxious to talk with her and just kind of see how she's doing as well. So lots of good things.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But boy, to have 2 assistant coaches with you every step of the way.
Unbelievable.
It's just unheard of. It really is.
Yeah, I'm very blessed for sure. You know, not only are they great assistant coaches, but they're, you know, my 2 best friends. And yeah, as Jan walks in, right. And so, you know, I'm lucky that I have, you know, when you have people that you can really, you know, trust and depend on, and you know that what they're going to do. I mean, it's so much easier because you go to work not having to watch your back or anything like that, which is unfortunately some people have to do when they go to work, but not me.
No, that's for sure. Good hires, by the way.
Oh, well, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Jenny has been with me for so long. I think Dave and I were celebrating our, I don't know what number anniversary, and he walked down the hall with a dozen yellow roses, and Jenny goes, "Hey, I've been with you 25 years. Where are mine?" So, you know.
And they could play a little bit too.
Oh yeah, they could both play. They both were great players at Drake University. Jenny was a point guard, and Jan was a power forward. And Jan led the country in scoring her senior year. Was a Rhodes Scholar candidate, and yeah,
almost 30 a game. Think about that.
Yeah, 29.7 points a game, which is actually 2 points more than the nation's leading scorer now, which is Caitlin Clark, who was named again the Big Ten Player of the Week. So nice to see that honor 2 times in a row go to Caitlin. She's leading the country in points per game right now. She's also leading the country in free throws made. She's shooting 81% from the free throw line, which she'd probably be disappointed in, but she's made 68 out of 84 free throws so far this year. And she has 79 assists on only 35 turnovers. So we're looking at a 2-to-1 average, which is kind of the gold standard everybody tries to get to. So congratulations to Caitlin. McKenna Warnock went over 1,000 points when we played Minnesota this week. So congratulations to McKenna.
And 600 rebounds,
and
too.
600 rebounds. I mean, those are really unbelievable numbers. And so happy for her. And, you know, I know we got somebody, both Monica and Caitlin are closing in on 2,000 points.
Yeah,
so that's pretty
Caitlin
amazing.
has 1967, so that's coming up.
Yeah, that's coming up. 33. It could be any day, folks. Who knows?
Already.
Who knows?
Just year number 3. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
and then, you know, and I think, too, and then missed a triple-double by 1 assist on Sunday, so there'll be more.
I know, but you would have That's a triple-double is so hard to get. And we did put her back in, and I told her you need 1 assist to get a triple-double. And she had a great pass, and Monica missed the right-hand layup, which Monica never does that hardly. And so those two actually laughed about it. So that was a good sign, I thought. And that was like, okay, time to get you guys out because we don't want anybody getting hurt.
Yeah, that's a tough thing, too, when the game is clearly in your control to have starters out there, and if something would
you don't want to have
happen
that
in the last 3 or 4 minutes, that would sit in the back of your mind for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, what a terrific week. We talked about the Wisconsin game last week and really got things off to a good start on that Sunday afternoon, and then had a pretty quick turnaround to a very good Iowa State team. And boy, what a third quarter the Hawks put together.
Oh, defensively, I mean, we won that third quarter 27-8. So felt very good about that. We went into halftime down 5, but I felt like going into halftime that we'd played a really good half as far as defensively, and our shots just didn't fall. And sometimes that happens, right? And I think if you make a big deal about it, sometimes it gets worse and people get tight. And so we were really of the mindset to just tell them, hey, they're going to go in, just keep shooting them. We're getting good shots, and that's all we can ask for. But keep up the defense, and they really took that to heart, because coming out of the halftime and going 27-8 is pretty amazing. And the defense, we always name a defensive player of the game, and we gave that honor to McKenna and Kate after the game, just because of the job they did on Ashley Jones. She had 15 points, so about 5 points below her average. She had 3 turnovers in that game and was 5 for 13 from the field. So she really had to work for her points, and really, really proud of the team and the effort that they gave defending a really good Iowa State team that, again, came in. Stephanie Soros, 6'9". We double teamed her. She ended up having 5 turnovers in that game. They had 15 turnovers to our 10 turnovers, so that was wonderful to see. We boxed them out well. They only got 7 offensive rebounds. They got 18% of available offensive rebounds. We got 23%. So, and the crowd was amazing. I mean, there are almost 14,000 people in Carver on a weeknight. That's just special. I mean, people have to understand this is a special place. And, I think that the people just get connected to this team. And when you're connected, you want to support them. And they're just a great group of women to support.
No doubt about it. And you could tell that there was a lot of excitement after that game to get that one, because got beat at Tilton a year before that, but had won 5 in a row previous to that, and wanted to protect that Carver Hawkeye Arena. That
and I think somebody said we'd won 7 in a row now in Carver. And we won 6 of our last 7 in the series. So, we like those numbers, and we want to keep it up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you talk about the defense, and it seemed like an Iowa State team, which has a good offense, obviously, just never could really get in any rhythm. And that third quarter there was a showcase of that. But then it seemed like all 4 quarters they were clamping down, and just highlighted there in the third.
For the game, they shot 36%, which is well below their numbers, and 33% from three-point range, which is also well below their numbers. So, again, I think this was our best defensive game of the year. Really, really good to see.
And we talked about Caitlin Clark and her honors, and well-deserved. It just seemed like she had control of this game from that point guard position.
Well, I just feel like she really did. She got other people involved. I mean, she had 8 assists in this game. She had 5 steals in this game as well. But we had some really, people step up as far, like Kate Martin was 5 for 8 from the field, 3 for 4 from three-point range. So Kate's been playing really well. Monica Sinano was 6 for 6 from the free throw line, had 10 rebounds. McKenna had 2 offensive rebounds. Addison O'Grady had 2 offensive rebounds. She had 6 points. She was 3 for 6 from the field. Played a really important 12 minutes for us. Again, a lot of people contributed to that victory.
And a fun night it certainly was inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. And then you had to turn right around and jump back into a Big Ten play, only regular season meeting with the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And you know that watching them this year, they've lost some games, won a tight one against Penn State. But it really is a team that you have a tough time getting rid of, because they just keep coming at you and clawing back. And they certainly tried to do that, but then that huge fourth quarter where the Hawks were able to put it away, outscoring Minnesota 21-10. And it always 2 games in a row where you have a low output by the opponent in that 10-minute stance.
Yeah, it's this game we gave our defensive player of the year of the game to Sid for this game because I thought she did such a nice job on Mara Brown. Brown, who was held way below her numbers. Again, she averages over 20 points a game, held to 14 points, and she had to really work for it. 5 for 16 from the field, 2 for 5 from three-point range. So I thought she did a really good job on their leading scorer, and especially when Kate went out. And I just want to say right now, you know, I think Kate's doing great. She had a good practice today. We held her out Monday, Tuesday. We x-rayed her on Monday. No broken bones, just a deep bone bruise. So I know a lot of people are very curious about Kate Martin and the injury she sustained, but she got kicked hard in the shin. And when I first went out there was a dent in it, and I thought, oh gosh, she broke her shin. Yeah. And then it instantly blew up, and it's a weird place to get swelling in your shin. So we didn't feel too good about it. But then they went and x-rayed her in the training room, and they felt good about it, and we had to wait till Monday till we had the official x-ray done. But thankfully, you know, after sitting out Monday and Tuesday, she did practice almost the whole practice today, but she'll be good to go for the UNI game.
Well, that's great news because
Yes.
that was concerning on Sunday because she's a tough kid, as you well know, had been through a lot physically, and you know, obviously was in some pain.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we had a nice lead coming out of the halftime. And then I thought we started out the third quarter really well. And then Kate got hurt, and that rocked us. Yep. And it really let Minnesota we tied that quarter 17-17, but we had done a great job defensively until Kate went out, and it just this team cares about each other so much. They were really worried about Kate. And I mean, we could tell it, we could see it in their eyes. And then when she came back out to the bench, you know, around that fourth quarter, I think everybody just breathed a sigh of relief just to have her back. And then we just took off in that fourth quarter, you know, like you said, winning 21-10.
Yeah, that great news. And
yes.
Boy, you just hate to see anything like that, but all good news heading into, well, finals week, and then obviously a UNI on Sunday. But 50 points in the paint in that ball game against Minnesota. Yeah,
50 points to 22. I love to see that. Got our transition game going. We had 26 transition points to their 5. So, you know, we scored well off their turnovers. We had 24 assists on 14 turnovers. They had 8 assists on 17 turnovers. And those 17 points gave us 17 turnovers. We scored on 26 points on those 17 turnovers. So we made them pay for their turnovers as well.
McKenna Warnock, as you mentioned, 12 points and 10 rebounds, and great to see Monica get 17 shots.
Oh, yeah, finally, right?
Yeah.
You know, we'd had a little bit of trouble. She shot 65%, 11 for 17. But McKenna had a really nice game. McKenna was 5 for 7 from the field, had 3 offensive boards, 10 total boards. Her adjusted field goal percentage shooting was 79%. Kate shot 60%. Caitlin was 50%, including 10 rebounds and 2 offensive rebounds. Again, 9 assists. She had 4 steals in this game, just that 1 assist away from a triple-double. Addison O'Grady was 1 for 2, 50%. A.J. Ediger was 2 for 2, 100%. So, again, some very nice shooting performances, except for the three-point range. We're, you know, not hitting stride on three-pointers yet. I know it's going to happen, but this was a low for us, I think, on the year. If we would have, you know, hit threes like we're typically hit threes, I mean, you know, we would have won by a lot more than the 6, what did we win by? 23? Yep. 23 points. I would have been a lot more than that.
And I think you said it well early on, as long as it's good three-point shots. You got to feel like, hey, okay, just keep shooting. They're going to fall and not force anything.
You know, and that's Gabby Marshall, right? She was 0 for 6 from 3. I mean, we look at every one of those three-point shots afterwards and on film, and we chart, was it a good shot or was it a bad shot? And every one of hers are good shots. And so we, you know, good shooter, you just got to keep shooting, all right? You got to get in the gym. You got to feel comfortable. You got to hear the snap of the net as the ball goes through over and over again. You know, it's just building that confidence back up because it's all between your ears. When you know you're a good shooter, when you shot 47% from three-point range 2 years ago, 40% last year, you know you're a good shooter. And so it's just a matter of, you know, really switching the light switch in the brain, really, and knowing that you are a good shooter and she's taking good shots. If she was taking bad shots, I'd be upset, but I can't be upset when they're good shots.
Yeah, just need a couple to go in, right?
That's all it is.
And you talked about Sydney coming off the bench, played 20 minutes, and just seems like she's really gotten aggressive, not only at the defensive end, but crashing the boards and playing with a lot more confidence, I think, in her second year.
I hope so. She played 20 minutes in this game and had 2 offensive rebounds for us, had 3 steals, had a block shot, so that was nice to see. But I thought Sid did a really good job defensively. And, she needed a game like this, so I'm hoping that was her breakout game, and now we can really get that consistent performance out of her.
And Shatia Wettering, Sharon Goodman continue to work their way back after missing last year. That's you talk about flipping a switch. That's something that's really tough too. You you get comfortable, and that's a tough thing to come back from. But good to see them getting some minutes. Yeah, and both of those players, they worked so hard last year to come back, and you just feel so bad for them. But it takes sometimes more than a year. Kate Martin, when she missed her whole freshman year, her sophomore year, it just wasn't quite there while she was playing with that brace on. The next year they were able to let her play without the brace, and then it was just like, okay, this is what the Kate Martin that we knew. And I'm sure it's going to be the same with Shatia and Sharon as well next year. Yeah, no doubt about that. I'm not saying that they're not going to help us this year. I'm not saying that, but I know that their best games are yet to come. Yep. Great to see them out on the court. And the Hawkeyes now 2-0 in the Big Ten with a victory at Wisconsin and, of course, against Minnesota on Saturday. And you talk about another great crowd, too, Coach. Almost 9,000 there and a late start. It was an 8 o'clock game on a Saturday, which is kind of unusual, but 9,000 just about people came out. So again, we're so appreciative of that. And Sunday we're playing Northern Iowa at 2 o'clock, so it's the prime time. Sunday at 2 o'clock. What a fun thing to do, the week before Christmas. Come out and see an in-state rivalry game and see, hopefully, our goal is to win the state championship. And so if we can win this game, that will solidify that for us. So that's a big game for us against Northern Iowa. And Northern Iowa gave Iowa State everything they could ask for. Yeah, 3-point game. Yeah, and it was at UNI, which we know is a tougher place to play, but 88-85 that game was that they lost. So only lost by 3 points. And I watched that game, and it was really right down to the wire. Well, they'll be ready. Yeah, they'll be ready for sure. But 3 for 3 sounds pretty good against in-state competition. That sounds really good. That's the goal. That's the goal. Absolutely. 2 down and 1 to go. If you want to chime in and talk to Coach Bluder tonight from Bumps, we invite your phone call, as always, 1-877-464-2957. 1-877-464-2957. That is Go Hawks. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated, has been voted best of the area for the 10th consecutive year and proudly supports, again, Iowa women's basketball. Trust Dodge Street Tire for honest auto repair and the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, celebrating over 30 good years on the corner of Dodge and Church Street. Attention all Hawkeye fans who buy their own health insurance. Wellmark is on your side and on the health insurance marketplace. Let's give it up for plans you can afford. Check out wellmark.com/hoops to compare plans. Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder, presented by Oaknall, continues after the break on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with 0 sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
The holidays are for making memories, and Honda can help you make them. Whether it's hauling presents in a capable Ridgeline, going sledding in an adventurous Pilot, or traveling in a rugged Passport or CRV. Make memories during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer.
New Hondas are arriving daily at your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
See dealer for financing details. We all love a good win, catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
The Iowa Hawkeyes are headed to the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl in Nashville. Book your travel now with Iowa's official bowl travel partner. Travel Leaders Destinations Unlimited at HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central. You'll find multiple packages to choose from, including motor coach transportation or hotel only with transportation to and from the bowl game. Enjoy all that Nashville has to offer with your stay close to downtown at the Virgin Hotels Nashville with all the trimmings of Southern charm. Cheer on the Hawkeyes and book now at HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
Welcome back to Bumps Hawk Talk with Coach Lisa Bluder, presented by Oak Knoll. Hawkeyes have won 3 in a row. Caitlin Clark, of course, earned another Big Ten Player of the Week honor. And that's now the 14th weekly award from the conference, which ties for 4th most in Big Ten history. And you remember when it seemed like Megan Gustafson was on a roll, winning it about every week as well. But we talked about what she did against Minnesota with 32 points, 10 rebounds, had the 9 assists, 4 steals, had 5 steals against Iowa State, which is her career high. And it was Iowa's second blowout victory in Big Ten play to start things off, and the 25th time that Caitlin has scored more than 30 points. And she made the comment, too, Coach, where that seems like the way that she played the last 2 games, getting close to a triple-double, double-double, several steals. It seems when the team plays its best.
Yeah, I mean, when she distributes the ball to everybody, that just makes it more people involved in the game, and that everybody wants to be involved in the game, right? But, you know, it's funny. You spend, in the game of basketball, you spend so much time away from the ball, without the ball in your hands. And people have to understand that you have to learn how to play away from the ball. And, you know, I'm trying to help Caitlin with that so that she can learn to play away from the ball, because I think she's harder to guard when she comes to the ball instead of, you know, off dribble and that sort of thing. But I just want her to have a nice, you know, array to her game. And, you know, yeah, we want everybody else to get involved in the game, too, because then we're harder to guard.
Does she have that sense, though, hey, sometimes you go back to the North Carolina State game where, okay, hey, maybe I've got to start doing something here to just try to get things going, which she certainly did, and just has that sense to do that.
Right, and she can do that. And that's what is so nice, because you're never out of a game with her on the floor. I mean, she could really bring you back. And I just wanted to wait to kind of do those heroics toward the end and not at the beginning of the game. At the beginning of the game, you know, try to get your teammates involved. But, boy, but make sure you know that, yes, at the end of the game, I want the ball in your hands.
Yeah, that's a tough thing, too.
It is. It goes against your nature a little bit when you're that type of dynamic scorer that she is. I mean, she really is an amazing player, and it's hard, you know. I mean, she's used to doing everything in AU. She's used to doing everything in high school, and now she's just in, you know, start of her junior year. So she's come a long ways, and I'm really proud of her.
Well, it's hard to pass up those 28-foot wide-open jumpers.
Well, maybe that's the only most time she's going to be open, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, when you're, just think, if you were getting denied the whole time and getting held on every cut and everything else, You would kind of want to put it up as soon as you cross half court and you're finally open, wouldn't you?
Get a clean look.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but she's so good off the dribble, too.
She's so good.
Amazing.
And attacking the basket. And, I think she gets fouled a lot of times and that doesn't get called. I'm really trying to work on her to keep on her feet because, if you fall, first of all, you get a risk of injury. Second of all, you can't play the game. Like you're beat in transition if you're on the floor. So we're really trying to talk to her. Stay on your feet, stay on your feet, stay on your feet, please, whatever you can do. And I know sometimes you think you get the call more if you fall on the floor because officials are reactionary and they see somebody fall and they want to blow their whistle. But I think she has a little bit of a reputation now and they aren't blowing the whistle. So please just stay on your feet and embrace the contact and go try to get that three-point play.
Yeah, and this is nothing new, but boy, just watching the last couple of years, in general, it just seems like games getting more physical and just allowing some more contact, especially out on the perimeter.
I agree. I think the game has gotten really physical. And then, then sometimes a call gets, the hand touch foul 25 feet away that doesn't impact the game. They call that one because it's easy to see. Yep. And that's the one I'm like, let that one go, But now somebody gets just taken down on a rebound or when they go to the basket and then there's no call. That's what's frustrating, right? You know.
I mean, it seems like, and I've seen games on TV, this has happened too, where the ball might be on the block and then somebody else on the opposite side of the court just gets leveled and it's sitting on the floor and then there's just nothing.
Yeah. But I know it's a hard job.
It is.
I get it. You can't see everything. And it's a very, very hard job. But, I just think that we need to work. We need to do whatever we can in women's basketball to improve the officiating because I do think it's a spot where we could use a little bit of improvement.
Let's head to the phones. Anthony checking in once again from Des Moines. Anthony, how are you this evening?
Well, hi, Rob, Coach. I just want to say Merry Christmas to both. And before I get to a couple of my questions here, I want to say, Coach, congratulations on your win on Saturday night. And how about those Lady Hawkeyes? They're on a roll right now. The question is I have for you, Coach, but you mentioned the game was on at 8 o'clock last Saturday. What do you guys do during most of your Saturday afternoon before game time? And another question I have for you, Coach, how do you match up against Northern Iowa on Sunday afternoon?
All right, Anthony, thanks for calling and happy holidays to you as well. With an 8 o'clock game, we try to keep the same schedule whether we play at 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or 8 o'clock. And that is we always have our shoot around 5 hours before the game. Now, sometimes when you're on the road, you can't control that because maybe the home team wants theirs, so then you're at their mercy. But if we're in Carver Hawkeye Arena, like for an 8 o'clock game, we had our shoot around from 3 to 4, and then we all get together for a pregame meal at 4 o'clock, so 4 hours before the game. After that, the players are really free to go home. A lot of them like to take naps or things like that, just to kind of relax and get their mind off the game. A lot of them review their scouting report again that we send them. We have a paper scout and a video scout that we send them. And then they'll be back, to get on the floor. They want to be on the floor no later than 7 o'clock for an 8 o'clock game to start our warm-up. So that's kind of like the progression of our day. Really what it was on Saturday is they got to sleep in a little bit later, have a little bit of their morning, more than they usually do. But that's kind of our schedule all the time. Before games. And we'll talk about you and I a little bit later. Easier at home than on the road? Very, very much, because we have control of our shoot-around time. We also have the instant food, like right after shoot-around 4 hours before, where, sometimes you're going into hotels and you're at their mercy. And but you plan and you get it. Most of the time, we haven't had problems with that. That has not really been an issue. But you definitely, on the road, your day is more broken up because you might have your shoot-around, 7 or 8 hours before your meal. It just depends on what time they're going to give you. I've heard coaches talk about, too, those late starts, especially on the road. Hey, don't play the game in the afternoon. Just make sure you kind of relax and go through just your daily routine as much as possible and just don't get so mentally into it. And where you're almost a little bit mentally fatigued. Yeah, I definitely think that. you know, we don't want them, to be sitting there thinking about the game, especially when you're on the road and you're sitting in a hotel and you've got a roommate, you know. You don't want to be sitting around all day. So we really like earlier games when we're on the road, if at all possible, just because you will get mentally fatigued. If you're thinking about the game for the time you wake up until the time that tip-off is, and it's 8 o'clock at night, you're going to be exhausted before it even happens. So the trick is to kind of stay calm and to, you know, just kind of occupy your time with schoolwork or reading or nap, something like that.
And it's nice to be able to get outside. If it's not too cold, maybe go take a little walk just get some fresh air, just something you'd kind of normally do at home other than cooped up.
That's right, in a hotel
room 312, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Well, Anthony, appreciate your call, and hope you have a nice holiday season as well. And we will talk about the UNI Panthers coming to Carver Hawkeye Arena on Sunday. UNI 5-3, and we did talk about they gave Iowa State all they wanted, 88-85, coming off a victory against North Dakota State at 79-70. Your years spent at the University of Iowa, some of the best, no doubt about that. Make your retirement years even better by coming home to Oaknall and the land of the Hawkeyes. Oaknall is a non-for-profit life care, life plan community and has been part of the Iowa City community for over 55 years. It's a community that offers its residents an innovative, appealing lifestyle choice, and what a gift it is to give yourself and your children the gift of life care and financial security. Oaknall is proud to sponsor Hawk Talk right here with Coach Bluder at Bumps Restaurant, Finkbine Golf Course. Call Steve Rowe. He's the executive director at 319-351-1720. 319-351-1720 for your personal tour. And you can also go to www.oaknall.com for more. If you want to check in with Coach Bluder, our second half of Hawk Talk on this Wednesday, it's presented by Oaknall and continues after this on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
At Cenex, we're locally owned and operated, so your community is our community. That's why your Cenex goes far beyond the store. We fuel community connections by supporting local festivals, restoring town monuments, and renovating baseball fields. Now in its 4th year, we'll have contributed more than $400,000 to Cenex communities through our Hometown Pride initiative, because community connections make the places we live so special. Cenex, powered locally.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
The holidays are for making memories, and Honda can help you make them. Whether it's hauling presents in a capable Ridgeline, going sledding in an adventurous Pilot, or traveling in a rugged Passport or CRV. Make memories during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer.
New Hondas are arriving daily at your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
See dealer for financing details.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Handling all of your exterior needs from roofing, siding, windows, and gutters, they've got you covered. Providing free damage inspections and help filing insurance claims. Call 319-343-6376.
Welcome back to Bumps as we continue Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder on this Wednesday night. We'll be back here Monday on the 19th, so our regular Monday slot next week. And then there will not be a Hawk Talk the week after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's. No Hawk Talk that week, and then we'll start on the 2nd of January for our first show of 2023. We've been talking a little bit about three-point shooting, and Caitlin Clark is 33 of 94, a little bit over 35%. McKenna Warnock at just under 40%, 21 of 53, and then Kate Martin, thanks to two outstanding games from three-point range, UConn and Iowa State, 14 of 23 for 48% from three, and then to have three players in double figures, three players averaging over 6 rebounds a game. Even though you've got the nation's leading scorer, you still got others that are contributing in all those columns.
Yeah, and, McKenna's numbers are so important to us. Everybody knows about the two, right, Caitlin and Monica. But we need, Monica or McKenna or Kate. One of those has to show up every single night for us. And then we need to get Gabby on track again. And when we get that happening, I think we'll be hard to defend. But McKenna's, those have been her numbers almost all through her career, about 40% three-point range. One of our better rebounders, really good free throw shooter. So really happy with McKenna, and really happy for her in her senior year.
Is that, Lisa, where you really talk about, hey, we need that third scorer? You always hear that in basketball. You got a lot of times a good post player and a good guard, and hey, who's that third one that's going to step up?
And it could be either one of those guys. I mean, really, you saw Kate do it, like you say, in the Iowa State game, in the UConn game. We've seen McKenna do it over and over again. I thought she had a really special game against Minnesota, where she was 5 for 7, 79% shooting was her adjusted field goal percentage. So I'm really pleased again for both of those young ladies, because they've had to be in the line, in the shadows of Monica and Caitlin, and they've been great teammates, and they've understood it, and they've embraced it. And we always say when those guys is like, when the spotlight shines on Caitlin, it shines on everybody, and it makes everybody's life a little bit easier, everybody's life a little bit better, and especially now with the NIL opportunities, name, image, and likeness, the more publicity we can get for our program, our women's basketball program, the better it is for them, to get some deals with NIL deals.
No question about that. That is on the forefront these days, and as a whole, just under 35% three-point shooting. Where would you like to see that?
We'd like to get it up closer to 40. Yeah. I mean,
it's not bad, though.
It's not bad. 35% is not bad. Our opponents are shooting about 32%. Our free throws percentage is down a little bit. 74% from the free throw line is a little low for us. We'd like that up to about 80%. And we'd like to be over 50% from two-point range, because we just have been for so long. We'd like to be up there.
Right there at 48.6.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen.
I think it will, too.
Well, let's go back to the phones. Karen from North Liberty checking in this evening once again. Karen, how are you?
I'm fine. I think our nice warm day is going to leave, though.
Oh.
Yeah, this was okay today,
nice, wasn't it?
It's going to be wet and everything else. Anyway, congratulations on wins over Iowa State and Minnesota. Let's win the state title on Sunday by beating UNI. Now, as I was leaving Carver after the Minnesota game, I saw a lady with a shirt on that was half black and half maroon, and it said Miniwa. I told her that I knew she was rooting for it. She introduced me. She introduced herself as the aunt, and she also introduced me to Grandma. And they said they enjoyed the game. So I wish them a safe trip home. But anyway, I'm glad that Martin's injury, my mouth isn't working tonight. I'm glad that Martin's injury wasn't as bad as expected. I've had bone bruises, and I know they're not fun. So anyway, go Hawks, and congratulations on what you've done so far.
Well, thanks, Karin. You know, yeah, I've seen those shirts where they've split them in half, and Monica Sananos, you know, her sister had a nice game. She had 8 rebounds against us, and they were doing a little trash talking between each other out there a couple times, but it's fun, you know, and Maggie, you know, really nice person playing as a sophomore for Minnesota, and happy where she is.
Yeah, and they had a little meeting afterwards, and Monica seemed like she was in a pretty good mood.
Well, Monica gets to go home, never have in 5 years lost to Minnesota, gets to go home for the holiday with bragging rights, and so, you know, not too bad for Monica.
No, and had a very good game. And you know, you think about, too, some of those victories up in Minneapolis for her and for the Hawkeyes. There's been some memorable ones up there as well.
There has been. Last year was really strange. Last year we won by 60 at their place, and then we came home and only won by like 12 or something like that. It was really strange, but we've had some good games up there, but there's also, you know, I mean, they've had good teams in the past. This is going to be a good team in the future, too. They're starting 4 freshmen and 1 sophomore. This is a team that's going for the future.
Tough to do in this league, isn't it?
It is tough. It's tough until you're like juniors and seniors, yeah.
Well, Coach, it's finals week, and you talked about that on Saturday, so that's always, you know, you got a lot of good students, obviously, to work with, so
we do.
They pay attention to it, and just got to walk through, you know, everybody's got a different final schedule, and hard to get practices in, but I know you were able to do it today.
Yeah, you know what the practices during finals week, they're a little bit all over the board, because what we do is we collect everybody's finals schedule and then look for blocks of time where we can get everybody in the gym at the same time. So it could be 2 hours, it could be 3 hours. You know, it doesn't. It's just that we get them out of their dorm rooms, out of their apartments. I think it's really important to maintain practicing during the course of finals week. I think it's good for them mentally to get out and to get something else into their mind besides just worrying about their finals. It's kind of a little outlet for them. But, you know, we really have worked on trying to improve our own game this week and not focus on the next opponent. So we haven't had to, you know, study the next opponent yet, which is a little less strenuous for them. Just come here and get better at ourselves, and so I think that's been very productive for us. We've done a lot of scrimmaging against our guy squad. So yeah, it's been a good finals week, and it is important to us. Our last semester, our grade point average is 3.51 as a team. That's pretty darn good, especially when you think we have 2 engineering majors, a pre-dental major, a couple business majors. I mean, they're taking good majors too, productive.
We had McKenna Warnock on after
pre-dental.
Yeah, she was listing some of the courses she had finals, and I go, whoa, that's a little out of my league.
Oh, yeah. I can't even say half those words that she's in those tests and stuff. But, yeah, she's amazing, and she's starting to study for her dental exams. So a lot of good things happening.
Yeah, then you get into the really fun part when you get to play basketball with no school.
I love that part. I love that part because I don't have to worry about who's coming from class, who's going early from class to get to class. During this last semester, we had somebody every single day either coming in late or leaving early because of their classes, and their classes take priority, and just it's the way it is. It's what I promised them when we recruited them, and so it's what we continue to do is classes come first. Now, we do get priority scheduling, so hopefully, you know, we don't have a lot of that, but when we do, classes come first. So this will be a nice little break for this 3 weeks after Christmas where we have just basketball and we can practice 10 to 1 every day and not worry about it and not have anybody coming and going, and they can just focus on basketball. And if for a player, it's the funnest time. You're on campus, you're with your best friends, you're playing the game you love, and you don't have to study, do any homework. It's a good time.
Always a good feeling when those finals are over.
It really is.
I still remember it.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Amazingly enough.
Yeah.
Well, when corn grows fuel, Iowans win. Ethanol is a renewable fuel that's better for our environment, our health, and our wallets. Share your winning moments using hashtag IowansWin, and you could win even more from Iowa corn. Hawk Talk and Hawkeye basketball brought to you by Bud Light. Bud Light proudly welcomes back Hawkeye fans to Carver Hawkeye Arena this year. Bud Light is for the fans. If you have a quick question for Coach Bluder, 1-877-464-2957, 1-877-GO-HAWKS. Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder continues, presented by Oaknall on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
We all love a good win, catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue. And awarded the AAA 4 Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatKirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
The holidays are for making memories, and Honda can help you make them. Whether it's hauling presents in a capable Ridgeline, going sledding in an adventurous Pilot, or traveling in a rugged Passport or CR-V. Make memories during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer.
New Hondas are arriving daily at your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
See dealer for financing details.
Welcome back to Bumps Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder on this Wednesday evening. Make sure to join us next Monday, the 19th, our final show of 2022 before we get the Big Ten rolling later on in the month. And then our next show will be on the 2nd of January. Pretty light schedule around the Big Ten, as you might imagine. We'll check the U.S. Bank scoreboard update. Minnesota did play today and defeated Milwaukee 75-59. They also played Monday against Chicago State, won that game easily, and then 2 Big Ten games later on tonight, starting at the top of the hour. Northwestern is taking on University of Illinois Chicago, new to the Missouri Valley Conference, and Wisconsin will play Green Bay. Top 25 action, number 13 Utah defeated Colorado 85-58. Of course, Iowa and Northern Iowa on Sunday, and then a matinee next Wednesday on the 21st as Dartmouth will be inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. So that the last two non-conference games before Big Ten play starts, with a home game on the 29th against the Purdue Boilermakers, and then a New Year's Day game at Illinois to start the 2023 portion of the schedule. Dartmouth is actually on the West Coast coming up this weekend. They will play at Long Beach State and also University of California, Irvine, before coming to Carver Hawkeye Arena. Dartmouth, of course, out of the Ivy League, and the UNI Panthers at 5-3 on the season. We've talked a lot about the Iowa State victory, and UNI coming off a North Dakota State win at 79-70. Grace Buffelli is the Panthers' leading scorer at almost 16 points a game, but they've got some outstanding shooters as well, Coach, and players that can score outside and inside.
They do. They have almost 4 players in double figures. We have Emerson Green at 9.7, but like you said, Grace Buffelli is leading this team at 16 points a game. Maya McDermott, only 5'6", but man, she plays with great heart. She's got 14 points a game. Cam Finley, averaging 11 points a game. So very balanced basketball team. We got some shooters coming off the bench, and Kaba Lobby from Marion, Riley Wright also from Marion. So we got some local, a lot of Iowans on this team. And so this game is one they have circled because, this is an important game for your bragging rights. And, you played AAU with a lot of these same players. And so, this is almost all Iowans, and I expect a great battle. They've had 12 days off, so they might be a little rusty, versus it's going to be a great game in Carver, and I think we'll have a great crowd on Sunday. But yeah, very good basketball team.
Always an interesting time of year for scheduling, isn't it? Because obviously you want to leave time with finals, and then you're winding down the non-conference portion of the schedule, and then obviously hitting it after Christmas.
Yeah, it is. It's scheduling is so tricky, right? You want to schedule hard enough that you're challenged, but you also want to get some wins so you don't destroy your confidence. Our what are we now? Right, we're 6-3. Is that what our record is?
8.
Or 8-3. I'm sorry, 8-3 is our record. I don't even know. 8-3 is our record. I'd like it to be better than that, and I thought it would be better, to be quite honest. But we had the 2-point loss at Kansas State. We lost to North Carolina State on our home floor. Those are, a couple W's I thought that we could get. But you want to schedule difficult enough that you are challenged, so you're ready for the Big Ten, you're ready for NCAAs, and then you also want to schedule a variety of different types of style of basketball. And so Northern Iowa is a team that is going to play 5 out a lot. That's going to be very unusual for us because, we have a traditional post player that plays inside. So that's a little bit different for us. We have to be able to handle that. And we might play somebody like that in the NCAA tournament. So we have got to be ready for that.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We'll be back and wrap things up with Coach Bluder on Hawk Talk, presented by Oakdale on the Hawkeye Radio Network from Learfield.
All love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Iowa Hawkeyes are headed to the TransPerfect Music City Bowl in Nashville. Book your travel now with Iowa's official bowl travel partner. Travel Leaders Destinations Unlimited at HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central. You'll find multiple packages to choose from, including motor coach transportation or hotel only with transportation to and from the bowl game. Enjoy all that Nashville has to offer with your stay close to downtown at the Virgin Hotels Nashville with all the trimmings of Southern charm. Cheer on the Hawkeyes and book now at HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central. Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Oh, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
Final couple minutes of Hawk Talk, and we want to emphasize the two home games coming up to finish off the non-conference portion of the schedule. Sunday afternoon, as Coach likes to talk about prime time, and I'm with her against the UNI Panthers, 2 o'clock tip, and then, hey, I kind of like this too on a Wednesday afternoon, 2 o'clock.
Yes.
Dartmouth comes to Iowa City after spending the weekend on the West Coast here.
Yes, and having Audrey Cooks from Iowa City West High School return to Iowa City wearing a Dartmouth uniform. So that's always fun for those local kids to come back and play in Carver Hawkeye Arena. So our next 2 games are at 2 o'clock, Sunday against UNI, Wednesday against Dartmouth. I know a lot of people are going to be on vacation on Wednesday, so it's a great thing to do before the holidays. Come in and watch us play. The men play in the evening sometime, and I'm not sure who they play, but then we'll open up Big Ten play again, resume Big Ten plays, I should say, against Purdue on December 29th and Carver Hawkeye Arena. So a good slate of basketball coming up, but first and foremost on your calendars, a very good, scrappy UNI team that only lost to Iowa State 88-85 by 3 points. They're 5-3 on the year, and they've played some really good people. But again, haven't played for a while. They beat Wisconsin. Oh, that was us. I'm sorry. Look at the wrong stat sheet for a second there. I was like, I don't remember watching that Wisconsin game. They lost to Iowa State, lost to Creighton, lost to at South Dakota State, which is a tough place to play. Beat St. Louis, beat St. Thomas, beat Tulane, beat Vanderbilt from the SEC by 3 points, and that was on a neutral court, and then also beat North Dakota State. So come on out, Carver, 2 o'clock Sunday.
Look forward to it. The Hawks and the Panthers at 2, and then Dartmouth inside Carver Hawkeye Arena on the 21st. Thanks so much for listening to Hawk Talk, and thanks to everybody for coming out.
Everybody for coming out. See you next Monday.
Absolutely.
Next Monday.
Final show of 2022. Good night from Bumps.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, this has been Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder, presented by Oak Knoll, an active life care community. Also brought to you by Bud Light, it's for the fans. Hy-Vee, score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Honda, to see how Honda crushes the competition, see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. And by Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit IALottery.com for details. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network. on the Hawkeyes Sports Network from Learfield. Live from the Hyatt Regency, this is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. Brought to you by Hyatt Regency, caring for people so they can be their best. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Hy-Vee, score big savings at HyVdeals.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Here's the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin.
Hey, we're live and in black and gold color at the Hyatt Regency, the Iowa River Landing. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out in person. Thanks for tuning in on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. He of the recent 500th win against Iowa State last week in a big, impressive victory over the in-state rival Cyclones, as the Hawkeyes won by 19. And then on Sunday night, the Hawks lost a toughie in overtime to the Wisconsin Badgers, 78-75 in their Big Ten opener at Carver Hawkeye Arena, which is Iowa's. Wisconsin is 2-0. Iowa drops to 0-1 out of the gate. Iowa played both the Cyclones and the Badgers without the services of Chris Murray. Chris Murray with a lower foot ankle injury, not able to go last Thursday or Saturday. That concluded a heavy week of competition for the Hawks. As you'll remember, we were at New York City and Madison Square Garden on Tuesday night. Three really difficult Power 5 opponents inside of 6 days, and the Hawks now have a couple days to rest up before hosting Southeast Missouri State in a tip-off at 7:30 coming up on Saturday night over at Mediacom Court and Carver Hawkeye Arena. We'll talk about that as the evening wears on here over the next 90 minutes. We just got done listening to Rob Brooks hosting the Coach Lisa Bluder Hawk Talk over at Bumps on the Finkbine Golf Course. And good to have you join us or stay with us for Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. We're here each and every week at the Hyatt Regency, Coralville's Edgewater Bar and Grill inside the Hyatt Regency, where you can enjoy extended happy hour until 8:30. Come on out, try their brand new menu, and enjoy nightly specials, including $2 Michelob drafts, 1/2 off glasses of select wines, buy one, get 1/2 off appetizers and sandwiches. Great food. I'm here to attest to that. We've all sampled every bit of that menu here, that new menu at the Hyatt Regency. We were here Sunday for the Hawkeye football banquet. Had a great meal on Sunday afternoon in the banquet room. So Matt and the staff, they're serving the entire public from all different venues and rooms. And tonight we're in the Edgewater Bar and Grill once again for Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. Each time, by the way, you come to the show, you're automatically entered into the hotel's drawing to win a range of prizes, including a free room night giveaway each week. All entries will be pooled together then for a grand prize drawing at the end of the season. A little bit later on, courtesy of our friends at Authentic Brand Apparel at authentic-brand.com. Authentic Brand will give away a $100 gift certificate, good for Hawkeye gear from the company out in Perry. And that means you need to get involved. All you do is enter a question on Twitter or on Facebook. On Twitter at Gary Dolphin or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks. And at the end of the show or throughout the show, if we land on a question or a comment that we think is very poignant and to the point and fits the mood of either this week's upcoming game or in review of last week's Hawkeye action against Iowa State, the Duke Blue Devils, and of course the Wisconsin Badgers, then we'll grab it, we'll pick it, and we'll get you a $100 gift certificate courtesy of Authentic Brand. Later on, Fran, Coach McCaffery will have his club car wash keys to a Hawkeye victory over Southeast Missouri State. Southeast Missouri State comes in level 500 at 5-5. They're out of the Missouri Valley Conference. They've been Division I for a few years now. They've got a number of transfers, solid basketball players, and we'll get into their P's and Q's a little bit later on. Hawks went on an 8-0 run Sunday night over the final 54 seconds of regulation to force overtime with Wisconsin, but the Badgers prevailed 78-75. The highlights certainly 4 Hawkeyes scoring in double figures, led by Patrick McCaffery's career-high 24 points. Connor McCaffery had 17. Tony Perkins with a big second half added 17. Philip Rebracha continues to play solid. 10 points, 8 rebounds. He was just a couple rebounds shy of his 4th double-double of the year. So that is a backdrop. We welcome you into Hawk Talk. We're here until 8:30 tonight. You can reach us again on Twitter at Gary Dolphin or on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawkeyes. We're at the Edgewater Bar and Grill inside the Hyatt Regency, and we'll come right back after our opening break and get into Hawk Talk. Bobby Hansen is settling into his chair. We'll take your questions, comments, and we'll hear from Coach Ferentz. That's Coach McCaffery. We'll talk about the bowl game and Coach Ferentz a little bit later on. I got plenty of notes in front of me here with a lot of names, but it's a big several weeks coming up, several weeks ahead for both basketball and football here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. This is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery from Learfield.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I think you...
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
You mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency and the Edgewater Bar and Grill. Nice crowd again tonight. Nice turnout. Thank you all for coming out or tuned in on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Maybe you're scurrying around Christmas shopping around the Iowa City, Coralville area, or anywhere across the great state of Iowa. Thanks for tuning in on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Gary Dolphin with former Hawkeye great Bobby Hansen alongside. Coach McCaffery will be joining us here in a minute. Bobby, busy week last week, concluded with a knockdown drag-out against the Badgers on Sunday night, but
On balance, a good week of learning, I thought, for the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, a lot of good things went on in the past 3 games, Gary. Tough one in New York City against Duke. You had some talented 5-star freshmen on the floor for Duke at the Hawkeyes battle. Desante Bowen, if you remember, late in that game, he got going, heading back home to the East Coast. He had 8 points in the final few minutes, ended up with 12 for Desante. So that was impressive, watching a young man. No fear in that guy. And then the Hawks, make their way to the airport and get back at a crazy time and got ready for Iowa State. The Cy-Hawk, the Iowa Corn Cy-Hawk series, and you get word that your best player, Chris Murray, was going to be in a boot. So didn't know what was going to happen, but impressive that kids rallied around each other and annihilated the Cyclones on that basketball night. And everybody got involved. Really, Iowa State had nothing going for them. The Hawks shoot 50% for the game, 52% from 3, 12 of 23, got to the free throw line 20 times and make 15 of them at almost 80%. So dominated the boards, 35-29. That was impressive. I mean, I don't know if you could say that you could see that coming, Gary, with Chris Murray in a boot, but the quick turnaround, they focused, prepared for the Cyclones, and took it to them, put the hammer down on the Cyclones that came in there, I think, expecting to win.
12 threes was really impressive.
Yeah, after only making, I think, 7 against Duke in that. And then, somewhat of a quick turnaround against Wisconsin in style of play. Hawks get them to overtime, and you talk about learning experience. In that game, the Hawks are down toward the end, down 5, I think it was, maybe down 8.
They were down 8 with less than a minute to go.
Yeah,
regulation.
They go on an 8-0 run and get that thing tied up, and some impressive plays. Tony Perkins, a steal. Presence of mind to turn around, kick it out to Patrick McCaffery. Patrick makes the 3 to tie it up there at 60 apiece. And then it was back and forth in the overtime. A couple of crazy 3-pointers by Wisconsin. Tyler Wally's a 13% shooter. And then Jordan Davis, who isn't known as a 3-point shooter, he throws one in. So they battled all the way to the end. Both teams had 3-point leads. And it was Heartbreak City. You got some new guys in there. Aaron Eulis, came out lame. He couldn't play after taking a fall in the Iowa State game. That puts Desante Bowen in the starting lineup. He played very well, and the chance for Fran to go to the bench. Josh Dix got in there, and Carter Kingsbury whacked a 3-pointer, which was good to see. So maybe we'll see some more minutes for number 14, Carter Kingsbury. But all in all, yeah, you didn't want to come out of there at 1 and 2, but it is what it is. And as you mentioned, a lot of positives and a few learning experiences in there.
You certainly want to have Chris Murray on the floor at all times, and Aaron Eulis for that matter. But how encouraging is it? I think these younger guys especially had to grow in confidence, knowing that, okay, we're down 8 with less than a minute to go in regulation without our superstar, and they run in 8 straight to get it to overtime. Played hard in the overtime. Wisconsin just made more plays in that 5-minute session, and even though you lost the basketball game, you have to really feel good about your effort.
Yeah, and Connor McCaffery, I really feel good about his play. Double-doubles in the last 2 out of the last 4 games against Wisconsin. He played 42 minutes of the possible 45 minutes, and he is just on top of his game. I mean, I don't think he's played better in his years here at Iowa. 10 rebounds. He's barking out the signals out there. He's a leader on the floor, knocking down 3-point shots, with ease, shooting them with confidence. And, the confidence builds when you see a guy like that. And his brother Patrick, the career-high 24, 7 rebounds for Patrick, getting better on the board. So he was 8 of 16 from the floor. He also played a lot of minutes, played 34, so showed good stamina there. So, Philip Abracha, 10 points, 8 rebounds. He continues to battle inside. So Hawks have a veteran team that are going to win a ton of games here in the Big Ten season coming up.
Connor and Patrick combining for 41 points.
Awesome.
That's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it is huge. And guys feed off that. 41 points and 17 rebounds from those guys. And, again, nobody played better than those 2 guys. You got to give Tony Perkins. Tony had a nice game against Wisconsin.
Sure
that guy's
did.
a battler. He's been battling a leg injury along the way. But he is a gamer. He's up for anything. And I just like him, his intensity. That starts the game, Gary, when he's out there guarding the point guard if he's at that role, but he just dogs him. He gets up underneath him, really makes it difficult. He's a leader on that defense.
Bobby, despite the tough competition, the Hawks more turnovers than we're used to seeing out of an Iowa basketball team, but they're still tops in the country in assist to turnover ratio at 1.7 to 1. They're the 4th fewest team. They're number 4 in the country with fewest turnovers per game at 9, and 7th nationally in turnover margin at plus 4.5. Now that'll make up for a lot of ills.
Yeah, it does. You got to take care of the ball. Probably too many turnovers. Coach will tell us when he gets up here that more than they would like. But it happens, and you got to overcome it. You get some steals. Hawks had 8 steals against Wisconsin. Wisconsin had 12. But, yeah, it's a hallmark of the Iowa Hawkeyes is taking care of the basketball and then sharing it. The assists, 18 assists, 27 made baskets against the Badgers. Against Iowa State, they had 16 assists, 24 made baskets. So that is always going to be a trademark of Fran McCaffery coach basketball team.
And we talked about Tony Perkins and how tough he is. I continue to marvel. I shouldn't be because we watched him play last year, but the improved physicality and improved skills offensively of Philip Rebraca, really at both ends of the floor. He had his 3rd double-double of the season against Iowa State, his 22nd career double-double when you add in his trip or his games at the University of North Dakota. Darn near had his 4th the other night against the Badgers with 10 points, 8 rebounds, and continually playing against guys much bigger and wider than he is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to Philip. He said bring him on. But the 22 points, 11 rebounds against Iowa State, unstoppable. He was our player of the game. 9 of 11 from the floor, Gary, including 2 made 3-point field goals, stepped out and was 2 for 2. Impressive thing in that game was all 5 starters for the Hawkeyes had at least 2 made 3-point field goals. Patrick McCaffery was 3 out of 5 for 3 made 3-point field goals. So when the Hawks are knocking down 3-point shots, they're unstoppable.
Connor McCaffery, back to Connor. He's got double-doubles in 2 of his last 4 games. He's played in 145 career basketball games. We had a question tonight, Bobby, on Facebook. Let me find it here from Brandon. How has Connor McCaffery not been offered a head coaching position somewhere yet? Smartest player I've ever seen in college basketball. Hopefully he'll be on the sideline at Iowa someday. Well, he very well could be, but he's got a lot of basketball they need him for right now.
Yeah, you got 20-plus games coming ahead of him, and I know he's looking forward to it. He's feeling healthy. You get a chance to chat with Connor, briefly before the games on what's going on and how he's helping his guys out there. But kid's always got a positive attitude. You can just tell he's a little bit older than everybody here in his 6th year, just stronger. And now he's concentrating on one sport, basketball. He's healthy. The hips are healthy. The shoulder is good. He took a spell the other day and kind of came up holding his wrist. I hope that doesn't affect him moving forward. But, yeah, really like the way he's playing and not hesitating to shoot that 3-point shot. If they're going to give it to him, Connor's going to shoot it. He's going to make it. And at the free throw line, pretty much automatic.
Bobby, how do you think, before we take a break here, and then Coach McCaffery will join us, how do you feel the team has responded with Chris being out? Got a couple guys that are forcing, maybe not forcing shots, but maybe a little bit out of kilter with their form and their jump shooting, and they're not falling for a couple guys. We'll talk about that as well. But I think they've performed admirably without Chris, and then Sunday night without Chris and Aaron Eulis.
Yeah, that's the idea, man. Next man in, and that's why you have 13 scholarships. Coach will tell us that. Patrick McCaffery, I think, has blossomed into that scorer's role, and that only is a positive moving forward. Chris, we need him healthy. Don't need to rush him back by any stretch of the imagination, but I know he's chomping at the bit to get out there and show what he's got. Really had a good start to the season, and then I think he tweaked that whatever it is in the Duke game, and just not the same. So wise decision to hold him back. But anytime somebody goes out, that next guy has got to step up there, and the team will rally around each other. They'll circle the wagons, if you will, and you don't want them out for too long, but always good to get other guys off the bench minutes. Guys like Josh Dix, who came in and he had a basket against Iowa State. I really like number 4, Josh, out of Council Bluffs, Abraham Lincoln. I like his game, and talked to Coach prior to the season. He was telling me how good he is, how smart he is as a basketball player. He'll rebound. He'll play defense. He doesn't say a lot when he's out there, but just pretty a matter of fact, Josh Dix is going to blossom into a really good player for the Hawks.
Yeah, he's figuring it out. The more minutes he logs on the floor, the quicker he'll figure it out. Okay, with that opening remarks from Bobby Hansen, we'll take a break, come back next with Coach McCaffery here on Hawk Talk. We're at, again, the Edgewater Bar and Grill. We got bar stools, booths, tables awaiting your arrival, Hawk fans. So come on in and join us. We're here until 8:30, and we're here each week with Hawk Talk for 90 minutes with the head coach of the Hawkeyes. Again, submit an interesting question for Coach McCaffery each week via Twitter at Gary Dolphin or Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawks, and you could win a $100 gift certificate for Hawkeye gear from Authentic Brand. We'll give you tonight's winning question a little bit later on in the show. Thanks to Authentic Brand for the $100 gift certificate. Authentic Brand, proud partner, not only outfitting our broadcast team on game day, and tonight for that matter, but outfitting thousands of Hawkeye fans on game day. Gear up for game day and every day in officially licensed Hawkeye apparel and accessories from Authentic Brand. It's the Hawks and Southeast Missouri State out of Cape Girardeau coming up Saturday night at 7:30. Our pregame coverage starts at 6:30 here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. We'll go to your questions and comments for Coach McCaffery on Twitter and Facebook right after this pause here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. This is Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery from Learfield.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
U.S. Cellular has always believed that connection is the greatest gift of all. That's why we're offering one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data. That's right, one line, unlimited data for just $29.99 a month per line. Even just one line. Because the only way to make the greatest gift of all even greater is not having to add more lines than you need to get it. Visit us in-store or online to get one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data today. U.S. Cellular, locally grown connection. Limited time offer, terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
The holidays are for making memories, and Honda can help you make them. Whether it's hauling presents in a capable Ridgeline, going sledding in an adventurous Pilot, or traveling in a rugged Passport or CRV. Make memories during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer.
New Hondas are arriving daily at your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
See dealer for financing details.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery. We're live at the Edgewater Grill and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency. Thanks to Matt and his staff here at the Hyatt for hosting us each and every week. The Hawkeyes in Southeast Missouri play on Saturday night at 7:30. Iowa at 7-3 heading into this weekend's game. We'll talk more about the scouting report with Southeast Missouri and Fran's Club Car Wash keys to the game. But Coach is with us now. Just a quick review of last week. It was a brutal run Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, Fran, against Power 5 opponents that are all reputable with their history of basketball. And then to not have your leading scorer and a rebounder for 2 games and Aaron Eulis for Sunday, guys gave great effort.
They really did. I mean, I thought, we were right in the Duke game. We weren't shooting well.
We had a couple opportunities. And I remember in the second half when Phillip got the and one, missed the free throw, and then Chris got the rebound, kicked it to Ulis. Ulis had a wide open three. If that goes in, it's a 3-point game. You know, about midway through the second half. Instead, they went down. They hit a three. They go up 9. We just could never get any momentum with our 3-point shooting. But we hung in there. It was 8 with about a minute 20. And then, you know, obviously a short turnaround for Iowa State, but the guys were locked in. I thought, obviously, when you start the game 20-2, they're locked in at both ends. You know, they were executing on offense. They were guarding. Iowa State plays a very unique style, and you have to be ready to handle that, how they play defense and how they run their stuff. They got a good team, you know, so that was a really good win, and I thought we fought Sunday really hard. You know, again, we didn't realize Aaron wasn't going to play until literally right before the game. I think we all thought on Saturday he would go. You know, he said, look, I just can't move the way I need to move. So if that's the case, then you go to your next man. I thought DeSante was really solid. I thought, you know, we've got a number of ways we can go. We can go with Josh Dix. We can play Connor back there. And Carter Kingsbury, you know, snuck in there and gave us some quality minutes, made a big 3. So you just have to use your bench.
That depth, yes, indeed. And, you know, you mentioned DeSante with his first start the other night. He's really, he's growing up right before our eyes. He's really maturing nicely.
Yeah, and he's, you know, he's got to figure it all out. I mean, there's a lot to playing as a freshman, but when you're a point guard, it magnifies it even more because you got to be locked into the game plan. You got to be locked into what we're running, what we're doing, communicate that to everybody else, make really good decisions. He was terrific against Duke. I didn't play him as much against Iowa State. Regretted that. Again, you know, every time I don't play guys that, you know, I love Josh Dix, I love DeSante, and, you know, Josh Ogundele. I want to try to get those guys minutes. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. And then as DeSante, you're going to start in Aaron's place, and he was really good. Not an easy team to play. The way they play defense, the way they run their stuff, you know, with the swing offense and a variety of things in terms of dribble to post and the number of 3-point shooters they have and the way they cut. You know, so he'll benefit greatly from that experience.
Coach, talk about, back to Wisconsin, talk about that style of play, and always a key, and my number one key, my club car wash key, was tempo. How do you speed them up, if you will?
Well, we've done a pretty good job over the years of doing that. You just got to keep pushing it. Push it on makes, push it on misses. We got some, when we had our run in the second half, it was all transition. We had time in the first half, and then there's times when, like if they're scoring, it's a little bit harder. So you obviously want to get stops if you can. But it's got to be a concerted effort, not only to get it in quick and push it hard, but sprint to the front of the rim, sprint to the wings, and sprint deep. Don't stop at the hash mark so that the pack line can get settled in and wait for you.
Coach, talk about your sons. I mean, 41 and 17 they had against Wisconsin. I mean, Patrick's career high. It was impressive performance, and Connor just continues to grow as a player and a leader on the floor.
Yeah, it was great to see those guys play so well, and they had to play a lot of minutes, and they have to get on the glass. You know, that's critical. Patrick's rebounding numbers are going up, so are Connor's. And the great thing about him is, you know, he can play more than one position, as we've talked about many times. But both of them are scoring the ball. It was great to see Connor drive the ball. You know, he was banged up in the Iowa State game. You know, sprained his hand, and then tweaked his wrist. And of course, it was his left hand, his left wrist. So he didn't shoot it as well from 3, but drove it. You know, we ISO'd him a couple times, and then he shot the one and tipped it right in. But he was really locked in from a competitive standpoint. Because if you're not against them, you will struggle. They'll just carve you up. So we were locked in, and you know what they did in the offseason, they signed some shooters. Now last year they had a good team, really good team, but they didn't have as many shooters as they've had at times in the past. You know, they had good players, they had size, they had, you know, obviously some of the same guys they have now, but they also had Johnny Davis, who was the 11th pick. But, you know, they got Klesmith, they got Esigian, and of course Chucky can shoot the ball. So if you have those three guys on the floor with two bigs, you know, they're skipping it, and they're skipping the guys that can shoot 49% from three. So you have to really be careful when you double, when you go, how you help, if you bluff, if you stay, and then rotate, because they do a really good job moving the ball. It's not often that your center, Stephen Crowell, is your leader in assists. He's got more assists than Chucky does. So they're going in and out, obviously. So you know, it was a great learning experience for our young guys. Our veteran guys were terrific.
And the Hawks will get another shot at the Badgers in February. Fran, you talked about Agundale earlier. Brent has a question on Facebook. Why didn't Josh play against Wisconsin the way the officials allowed the physical play in the post? I thought maybe the Big O could hold his ground and give something back to him. Go Hawks. We had a group of 11.
He could have.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, he could have. There's a lot more to it with the way they run their offense. You know, if it was just throw it inside and Crowell tries to bang, then Josh could definitely have held his ground. But there's way more to that offense, and I just felt more comfortable leaving Phillip out there and then giving Carter a shot with Tyler Wall. Because Connor, I didn't give him much of a break, but those guys needed to stay out there. Wish I would have maybe thrown Josh in just for a few minutes, rest Phillip, rest Connor, and give him a shot, because he's played pretty well when I've asked him to go in, and he hasn't been a big mistake maker. As a sophomore, he's a veteran guy now. And he's been here now 3 years. He's got his COVID year, so he's a guy that I think is playing better. Probably should have put him in a little bit at least. But when they start running all those back picks and straight cuts and in and outs and reversals, and guys start cutting, it's a little bit harder.
Thanks for bringing it. Brent said that we had a group of 11 there at the Wisconsin game. Thanks for being there, Brent. And there's your answer from Coach McCaffery on Josh Agundale. And he'll play more going forward. Bobby?
Yeah, my question, Coach, comes from a coworker who was asking, what has he missed? We're not going to get into refereeing, but the contact inside. It looks like guys are just lowering their shoulder, and it's a
yeah, and that's a fine line, Bobby, because technically, on the second bump, you can flop, and that would be an offensive foul, as long as your chest is between that guy and the basket. We typically hold our ground. I don't want it to become a flopping contest. Obviously, they're a take charge team. They're gonna go down, periodically, and you really don't have any other choice. But we chose to hold our ground and try to make them score over us.
I look at it as an offensive foul. I guess when a guy lowers his shoulder, you've got contact.
That's what Shaq did all those years. He just because nobody could stay in front of him.
No way. Yeah.
So you're right. I mean, you're not wrong with your assessment. And again, I mean, they throw it in there every time. So if you flop and they don't blow the whistle, then they just lay the ball up. So that's problematic. So it's pick your poison type of thing.
This fits, I guess, Coach, with what we're talking about, subject matter. David on Twitter, does the increasing physicality of the college game concern you in regard to injuries to players? Have there been conversations within the conference, coaches and leaders, to address this?
No, not directly. I mean, it's never something you want. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen an uptick in injuries because of physical play. I think it's nothing more than the players are getting bigger and stronger and faster, and you're competing. So there's going to be contact, and there's going to be situations that occur throughout the course of the game that will affect momentum, in a big way. And that's, it's one of the things, we went to, I wanted them to go to the monitors for the hook and hold. because that can't happen. You know, they have. That's one thing, to go back to answer the guy's question. They've changed that rule a couple of years ago because guys were getting hurt on a hook and hold.
On the hook, yeah.
So
to rip your shoulder out.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim, this is in reference to the 3 games in 6 days or 5 days last week. Coach, how and who does the scheduling for the conference games, setting times, and do schools have any input into schedule on when they play and what day they play?
You have a little bit. You know, when we got invited to play in the Jimmy V, that meant obviously that we couldn't play 2 conference games in December, early December.
Right.
We played the second one December 29th. Same for Illinois. So we had to get permission from the league to play in that event, and then figure out, okay, who are we going to play coming out of it, and then when are we going to play the next game, and how are we not going to back up the games on the back end and be fair. So the league does a really good job of trying to be fair. TV will have some impact on that. You know, they want certain games, and they want them on certain days. So you can say, hey man, like we really need a home game here because we're coming back, getting back at 5 in the morning, and then we have another game. Can we at least have a home game? You can request that. Doesn't mean you're going to get it, but they try to accommodate if they can.
Coach, how impressed were you with your guys? I mean, you mentioned we all got home at 5, and you lay down, and maybe a couple hours, you're back up, and you guys were locked in.
They were locked in. I think we did a good thing. We had a bunch of meetings, but we didn't run them. I mean, we're not going to have a 2-hour practice on Wednesday and play Thursday. So the guys, they were very mature. They got some rest on the plane. They rested the next day, and we had a series of meetings with film sessions, stuff we need to do, walkthroughs. That was important. You get out on the floor and walk through. Okay, this is how they're going to guard us. This is the things we're going to run. This is what they're going to run against us. This is how we're going to guard it. And very, very professional, Bobby, as you would have expected. You know these guys. Both of you know these guys. They're very professional and serious. We've got great leadership, with Connor in particular. And we've got gamers. Philip Obracha, I mean, how good was he against
22 and 11
State? I mean, wow.
Unstoppable.
Yeah.
Almost another double-double Sunday night against
threes, too.
Tall dogs in the middle for Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And I've asked Philip about this. He says he'll tell you that having gone through the league last year has really helped him this year. I mean, you would think it would. But
yeah, if you think about it, Dolph, I mean, your juniors are always better than your freshmen in that regard. I mean, you might have a superstar freshman. It's just terrific. But you expect more from your sophomores, juniors, and seniors for that very reason. How do we put a game plan together and execute the game plan on the floor? How do we handle road trips, getting back late? Because they're still, this is right before finals. They're in taking finals right now. So they're studying, they're going to class, they have papers due, they have tests to take. So there's a lot going on. So we're very cognizant of that and make sure we stay on top of it and help as best we can.
We've talked about the structure of practices on finals week. Is it still come when you can and get shots up?
No, what we'll do is we'll get their schedules and we'll schedule a time that works.
Okay.
Yeah, those days are over where we just kind of go, hey, if you can show up, no, we're going to show up all at the same. We're going to have a regular practice. We're not going to go for 3 hours and lose our minds, but we're going to stay locked in, be organized, get them in, get them out, and make sure they have all the help they need when it comes from an academic support standpoint.
Questions for Fran on Twitter @Gary Dolphin and on Facebook at facebook.com/Voice of the Hawkeyes. We even got Mike in Burlington checking in the YouTube chat room. Hi, everybody watching in on the Hawkeye YouTube, the official Iowa Hawkeye channel tonight. Coach, do you have a favorite Big Ten city the team travels to during the season, and why? Outside of Iowa City, of course.
Yeah, I don't like any of them. Do you?
No, I mean,
neither does Bobby.
Never have.
You don't like Madison Square Garden. So you
Bloomington,
really don't like to
Champaign,
travel anywhere then.
Madison.
I like Iowa City and Philadelphia. That's about it.
Good answer.
Two very similar metropolitan.
They're very similar.
Very similar metropolitan areas. Iowa City, Coralville, North Liberty, and Philadelphia. So there you have it, Mike. He doesn't like any of them.
How about the Eagles? I didn't realize they were so good, Fran. You're an Eagles fan. I mean, what are they, 11-2 now? 11-1?
One.
Yeah,
Get it right, Bobby.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you, when they drafted Jalen Hurts, Carson Wentz was the starter, and everybody's like, well, they drafted him for us. And I remember watching him in college. I mean, I'm like, that he's pretty good. I mean, he played at Alabama, transferred to Oklahoma. I mean, I watched him play. He's a modern-day quarterback. Forget about the pocket. He's running around.
Move that pocket.
He rushes for 100 yards almost all the time and throws for 250, and they win.
I just happened to be laying there, and they flipped it up, the pregame on Sunday. It's like, what? I got to ask Fran about them Eagles.
It's a good organization. I mean, they have really terrific management, great owner, and they've got a lot of pieces right now. They have running backs, they have tight ends, they have line. They really put it together. Because when you have a franchise quarterback like Hurts, you got to protect them.
Well, they'll be 11-2 after this weekend. They run into that juggernaut Chicago Bear outfit.
Good luck with that, Dolph.
Where's that at?
It's in Chicago.
I got to figure the Eagles are favored. That's just a guess. Not that I look
hope
at
for
that,
a blizzard or something.
Go out on a limb.
I think they're favored by a field goal. I think last I checked.
Bears are a ways away.
Yeah, they sure are. They got a good quarterback though. All right, with that on that note, we'll take a break and come back with more Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. Again, we're at the Edgewater Grill and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery continues in a minute from Learfield.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
U.S. Cellular has always believed that connection is the greatest gift of all. That's why we're offering any phone, any brand, any storage for free for everyone, new and current customers. Plus, our price protection guarantee means your rates won't go up. Because locally grown connection is the gift that keeps on giving. Visit us in-store or online to get any phone, any brand, any storage free today. U.S. Cellular, locally grown connection. Limited time offer, terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Hawk Talk with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery continues live from the Hyatt Regency and the Edgewater Bar and Grill. Thanks for tuning in tonight here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa takes its 7-3 record back to Carver Hawkeye Arena coming up Saturday night, take on Southeast Missouri. Southeast Missouri out of Cape Girardeau, and we'll talk about that in that matchup in Fran's Club Car Wash. Keys to the game here shortly. Tonight's Hawk Talk with the coach is sponsored by Bud Light. Bud Light proudly welcomes Hawkeye fans to Carver Hawkeye Arena this year. Bud Light is for the fans. And by U.S. Cellular, bringing locally grown connections all season long with any phone free for new and current customers. That's right, any phone for free. All right, back to the questions for the coach we go, and Bobby Hansen alongside as well. This one comes from Dan on Twitter. Does Coach Sherman Dillard prefer his retro George Raveling sweatsuit look on the sideline to all those awesome suits and bow ties that were his trademark before now? That's a probing question.
I think we all enjoy dressing the way we do now. I have noticed this year more and more teams going back to suits. There's quite a few. I know there's one conference that required it. They made a rule that
really?
you go back to
one.
suits.
Okay.
Some coaches chose to do it. I can tell you it's way more comfortable coaching the way we are. I mean, you know, you're sweating, you're running up and down the sideline sometimes. I try to stay pretty close to the bench, you know, I don't run around, but you do sweat. You know, there's a lot going on. It was really hot in the building, I thought, the other night. You know, and that happens sometimes, you know, when you get, 14, 15,000 people in there. So it's just way more comfortable.
Well, I noticed you're much more angular and loose, too, when you turn toward to the scorer's table and face us and get that leg up in the air for when you're thinking about kicking it. It's not that you do or pound it.
I haven't broken anything.
No, absolutely not. I like an animated head coach. And I will tell you, Sherman's been a fashion statement at times this year.
He's going to be a fashion statement no matter which way we dress. Okay, he's always been that way. You know, again, like you said, the bow tie look, that was his thing. But now, he broke out the gold pants.
Well,
I'm not sure where you would go to buy those.
Bobby and I were admiring the gold leggings.
The gold pants, yeah. I don't know where you would go. I guess you got to go online, I'm guessing. I don't know.
You think, Bobby? I mean, you're formerly of the NBA. Come on.
Sherm can pull it off, though.
He can. He's got contacts.
He's got people that'll hook him up, but I would assume Amazon. I mean, you can find pretty much everything on Amazon. I've done all my Christmas shopping on Amazon, so just waiting for it to be delivered now. So that's another story.
Yeah.
It's a good time to bring up your revamped somewhat coaching staff. Obviously, Sherm's been with you. You elevated Sherm's been with you a long time. You elevated
13 years.
Courtney Eldridge to a full-time assistant's job this year and brought in Matt Gatens. Tristan's on the bench, but based on what we've observed next to the bench, it looks like the chemistry's pretty good.
Oh, it's great. I mean, you knew Matt would be seamless. He did a great job. It was his scout. The Iowa State game was his scout. He did a great job. Very professional, very thorough, very insightful, as you would expect. Tristan has been a blessing as well. Because he's, technically a young coach, but, he played overseas for like 10 years. So he's in his early 30s. He's been around. He relates well to the players. He communicates well with the players, has a great feel, because there's a lot of stuff going on in their lives. And he's a guy that they connect with and can talk to. He's great, with skill development, which is what he's, really had great impact in that area, but makes great suggestions on the bench. Very, I think, very insightful, very astute. And you're right, and it's important that all those guys, they all bring a lot of the same things, but they all bring some different things. And it's just important that they get along well, and we all obviously have the same focus. We've all seen staffs over the years that are disjointed, and guys are looking for one thing, how they get their head coaching job. You'll get your head coaching job when your team you're coaching now is winning. That's how you do it. and the main responsibility is to help our guys. Help our guys be the best version of themselves every time they take the floor, give them the best chance to win, and then prepare and work to that end.
They're doing
no
that.
Selfishness anywhere. And I really like this team in that regard as well.
Well, look how hard they're playing. Look how hard they're playing and well they're playing without Chris Murray. Give us the update on Chris. We don't want to belabor it, but I mean, how's he doing coming along with his rehab?
He's hanging in there. He's down.
He's got to be frustrated.
He's frustrated. He's on top of it. You know, I mean, he's had a lot of treatment and doing some rehab. I believe he's out of the boot tomorrow. I think he's out of the boot. But you know, it's sore. But you give him another 10 days or so, 12 days. I think he'll be okay.
How about Aaron? Do you expect him back?
I would expect him back Saturday.
Okay, that's
but
good.
Again, I'm not 100% sure. I thought he'd be ready to go Sunday, but he just said, I just can't move the way I need to move. Which, you know, if he can, I'd prefer that he say that and not go out there and, you know, make mistakes and get blown by and not be able to get by anybody. But that's his game. I mean, he's a really good defender. He's tenacious. He's also a really good rebounder out of that position. He's got great lift, and he gets downhill and creates problems for the defense and creates shot opportunities for our guys. That's a valuable thing that he brings to our team. And if he doesn't feel like he can do that, then we have to have somebody else do that.
That's before we take a break here, Coach. Sam on Twitter at Gary Dolphin. Coach, what is the one thing or rule in the NBA that you wish the NCAA would adopt if you have one? That's an interesting question. So, is there something the NBA
take a timeout after a made basket? You can move up to half court. I think the women.
Well, the women do that.
The women do that, and we do that when we play overseas.
Okay.
I like that. I think that's a really good one. You know, I think, you know, the two that I think a lot of people discuss are 6 fouls and a 24-second clock. Those are two things that I think people are iffy about one way or the other.
Would you like a 24-second shot clock?
Yeah, probably.
Would you?
Yeah.
Speed them
up. Go.
Let's go.
What
are we waiting for?
Hey, Coach, I'm looking out there watching your youngest son chow down his third plate of food out there. Now, they got a 35-second shot clock in high school, I was reading.
How great is that?
Yeah, finally, right?
Finally. But you know what? Interesting, Bobby. I mean, a lot of states don't.
It's crazy.
Still. And these teams just move the ball side to side for 2.5 minutes. Like, what are we doing?
State tournament, right?
Yeah.
Didn't Valley hold it? Or
Valley held it. You know, Connor's senior year when they won it, they held it. It was more like a 4 to score. That's what Berge did.
Okay.
You know, like, we might hold it, but we might go. You don't know. We have you spread out, and he put the ball in Connor and Devontae Lane and Isaiah, and we put some guys near the basket like Patrick, and it was effective, you know, because we were in the bonus and we had good free throw shooters. And if you spread them out and they feel like they have to come get you because you have a lead, then you have more room to drive the ball. But the games have been so much better in Iowa this year with the shot clock.
Yeah.
And the kids have adjusted pretty well, I think.
They had a shot clock at AAU, Fran? I haven't seen one in a while.
They do in the major circuits.
Okay.
Nike, Adidas. They did for 17U, but not for 16U, typically. Because they're trying to get them ready for the next level. I mean, like we always say, okay, well, you have it in college, you have it in FIBA, if you're playing internationally, or if you're playing in the Olympics, you have it in the NBA. What are we getting them ready for? You know, So a lot of states have you know, resisted it, but a lot of states have put it in, and it just makes the games that much better. So
Good
much more
stuff.
fun for the kids.
Better to watch.
Interesting questions and comments tonight from our listeners, and of course from Coach McCaffery and Bobby Hansen. Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery will continue in a minute. We have a special presentation. Jack's on his third bowl of salad out there, but he's also eyeing that cake that's in the middle of the table. So before Jack cuts into it, we'll come back after a timeout. We have a special presentation we want to make to Coach McCaffery. That's next on Hawk Talk from Learfield.
U.S. Cellular has always believed that connection is the greatest gift of all. That's why we're offering one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data. That's right, one line, unlimited data for just $29.99 a month per line. Even just one line. Because the only way to make the greatest gift of all even greater is not having to add more lines than you need to get it. Visit us in-store or online to get one line for $29.99 a month with unlimited data today. U.S. Cellular, locally grown connection. Limited time offer, terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Get a Hy-Vee Plus Premium membership for just $99 a year and get fuel savings every time you shop in-store and online. Plus, exclusive deals and offers every month. Plus, free standard delivery and free express pickup. With Hy-Vee Plus, our plus equals more. For a limited time, get $50 off an annual Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG. That's right, get $50 off a Hy-Vee Plus membership with code SAVEBIG.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
We're back on Hawk Talk live from the Hyatt Regency in the Edgewater Bar and Grill. I'm Gary Dolphin alongside former Hawkeye great and broadcasting partner Bobby Hansen. It's Iowa and Southeast Missouri coming up a Saturday night here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Southeast Missouri is playing tonight, as a matter of fact, and we'll talk more about that in the coming days. But the Hawks entertain Southeast Missouri coming up this Saturday, 7:30 tip-off, 6:30 for the pregame show here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Well, those of you on the YouTube channel can see that Coach McCaffery has this beautiful cake in
this
front
is
of him.
awesome.
Whoops. Yeah, well,
No.
He slid into second base.
We didn't turn it over.
No, you didn't.
I don't turn the ball over.
Not turn it over.
No, I couldn't shoot, so I better not turn it over.
Not white lightning from Penn.
White magic. Get it right, Dolph.
Magic.
Get it right.
Well, you were lightning quick.
Yeah,
too, right? I'll get it
Stephen
right.
Barlow got it wrong. Called me White Jesus. It's white magic.
I never heard that one.
Yeah,
white.
He got a lot of flack for that.
Oh my, Stephen. But in front of Coach, thanks to some of our good friends who come out here to the show each and every week, a black and gold or a white cake with black and gold lettering. It says, Coach McCaffery, congratulations on victory number 500 for his career. Go Hawks! And a nice round of applause for the head coach of the Hawkeyes.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. It's very nice.
We'll be carving that up. Jack's still got his eyes on that.
Yeah, he'll eat half of it.
Yeah. We thank the Doherty boys for bringing us the Trappistine Nuns, Our Lady of the Mississippi.
Every year.
Up near
These things are awesome.
They're legendary. They
melt in your mouth.
They go all over the world. Creamy caramels for the holidays, thanks to Tim and to Kevin and to our None, and by the way, they're huge Hawkeye fans.
Yep.
I've heard from them in the past up at Our Lady of the Mississippi Abbey up near Dubuque on the bluffs overlooking the rivers. So got a lot of good suites here tonight to finish up on, Coach.
We like it.
In the next half hour. A couple more questions for Coach before we talk about Southeast Missouri. Let's see, where did it go here? Well, we talked about Chris being out and how the team has responded. We talked about that. Oh, here it is. PJ wants to know about Peyton Sanford struggling with his three-point shooting. What, if anything, can we do to get him back on track, or is something he just needs to shoot out of? Love to see him get back soon.
Yeah, he's got to keep shooting. I mean, keep playing with the confidence that he typically plays with. The thing that I always say about him is he's a really good basketball player, and that's what I need him to do. You know, he's not a shooter. He happens to be a good shooter. He's a good passer. He can handle the ball. He can play more than one position. He's all over the glass. I mean, I love that kid. And he just needs to impact the game in a variety of ways. The shots will fall. I think maybe the only advice I give, I think he's rushing a little bit. He's so anxious to hit some. And I just don't want him to feel that pressure. I just want him to come in the game and play the game. If he's open, shoot it. If you're open, pass it to you. If there's space, drive it. If the shot's coming off the glass, go rebound it. You know, it's not complicated. Let's just do that.
It's crazy. The shot he made was an offensive rebound, and they wiped it away. They called him over the top, but it was like, how ironic
it wasn't.
is that? Wasn't on film.
No, it was not. Upon further review.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bobby, you played a lot of years, great shooter. When you got into a little hitting slump, what'd you do? Just get extra practice shots up?
Yeah, I can remember times with Stockton and I would just go out and take the lid off the basket is what we talk about. He'd pass it to me, I'd pass it to him, and you just get your confidence. You see the ball go through the hoop. I see Matt doing that with Peyton. I see Tristan doing that with them, with other guys. So to me, it's repetition. You know, don't think about it. And when you have a coach that has supreme confidence in you, I mean, there's no reason.
I'm going to play him.
Yeah.
He's going to play. It's not like, okay, you miss a couple shots, you're coming out, you're not getting back in. He's going to play. He's one of our best players. He deserves to play. He really cares about his teammates, wants to win. And he's one bust-out game away, I think, from really turning this thing around.
I agree, and hopefully it starts on Saturday night. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. We're at the top of the hour. That first hour flew by here on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery. We're at the Hyatt Regency, Edgewater Bar and Grill. 10-second ID break for our stations to identify themselves. You're listening to Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery. Time now to hear Fran's keys to the game, keys to a victory coming up against Southeast Missouri on Saturday night, Southeast Missouri State. His keys to the game, Coach McCaffery's keys to the game, are brought to you by the official car wash of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Club Car Wash with unlimited membership starting at just $20 a month. There's no better time to join the club. Visit clubcarwash.com to find a location nearest you. Couple games, Coach, before the Christmas break. Let's start with Southeast Missouri, a team that is 5-5. They're playing tonight. They play in a good league. Their head coach has worked a lot under Bruce Weber and Matt Painter, and worked with Paul Lusk when he was at Missouri State. So I'm sure he's taken a little bit from all three of those guys.
Yeah, I really like this team. I mean, they've got a number of different guys that can score off the bounce. They make threes. There's been a number of games where they've made 10 or more, which, you know, it was usually the benchmark for, okay, if a team makes 10 threes against you, you better play well to win. Their guard play has been impressive. They kind of play four guards. You know, the one kid's a small forward, Clark, but he's really a guard. Quick, athletic. They push it. They play fast. He's got a bench. You know, he's got some guys coming off the bench that, you know, are pieces. You know, maybe shoot it a little better, a little taller, a little something else to the game, whether maybe it's passing or toughness. So this will be a good test for us in so many different ways.
Bobby?
Yeah, I just looked at them a little bit, Coach, and they got a game tonight, I think. We'll be able to catch the box score from that, but they'll go. It looks like reading the recaps of the game. Like you mentioned, they got a couple of guards that'll shoot it from three or put it on the deck and go, so it'll test your defense.
Yeah, I mean, the Russell kid's really special. I mean, he's taken 72 threes in 10 games. You know, I don't know if Chris or Patrick and Peyton, because Chris has only played in 8 games and the other two have played in 10 games. So they're right around the same number in the low 40s. Chris, if he played in the other 2 games, would probably be in the low 50s, maybe mid 50s. And this guy's taken 72 threes in the same amount of games. So he's a handful.
The average is 17. Yeah. He's shooting 86% from the line. So better know where he's at.
Southeast Missouri's up 2 at the half on Arkansas State, leading 26-24 on the road. And they're coached by Brad Korn, third-year head coach. We mentioned he was an assistant. He also was a heck of a player at Southern Illinois. Fran,
for Bruce, right?
For Bruce, yes. Mm-hmm. And then coached under Bruce Weber and Matt Painter at Southern Illinois and at Kansas State. So he's got a good background. He's recruited to no doubt to those systems. Second-year point guard Philip Russell. He started 21 consecutive games. He's missed only 2 starts since joining the Red Hawks due to COVID protocols. They're in the Ohio Valley Conference, Fran. That's always been a good basketball league. Man,
very good basketball league. And also what they've done is, like a lot of teams, they've added pieces via the transfer portal and recruiting. So you can remain a veteran club, and as you said, he's got experience in coaching. So that's the challenge. If you do get a few transfers, can you get those guys to come in and learn the system, buy into the system, play together? And that's what he's done.
Kobe Clark is approaching 100 rebounds this season. That's the most in the Ohio Valley Conference, so you got to mark him.
Yeah, he's also a terrific offensive rebounder. Very good offensive, very active team. Whether it be pressuring the ball, pushing the ball at you, flying at the glass, so we got to be ready.
Well, they know balance because they've got 4 guys averaging in double figures. Philip Russell at almost 17. Israel Barnes, I was reading his bio this afternoon. 15 points a game. He's a good rebounder. He's a thick guard, I guess is what I was looking for.
They got a couple of those, and they've also had a few injuries. They've had some. What game was it? A couple games ago where they didn't have 3 of their top guys. A couple games I watched, they didn't have 1 or 2. I think they're getting back to full strength for us.
And they'll be in town. Tickets will be available. You can log on to HawkeyeSports.com. Walk right up to the door on Saturday night if you choose. Bring the kids out. Bring the family out. It's a 7:30 game, 6:30 pregame coverage here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Coach McCaffery's keys to the game, a victory over Southeast Missouri, are sponsored by the Iowa Hawkeyes official car wash, Club Car Wash, with unlimited membership starting at just $20 a month. No better time to join the club. Visit clubcarwash.com and find a location nearest you. Hawk Talk tonight is sponsored by Iowa Corn. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Take a closer look and you'll discover the many connections you have to corn. And those connections translate into victories for farmers and wins for all Iowans. Share your winning moments using hashtag IowansWin. Well, we're going to cut the cake, and when we come back, we'll have a U.S. Bank scoreboard update so Coach can enjoy. Maybe we'll get some ice cream out here, too. We'll have a U.S. Bank scoreboard update and the rest of our Hawk Talk program with Coach McCaffery. That's ahead from Learfield.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I think you...
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
U.S. Cellular has always believed that connection is the greatest gift of all. That's why we're offering any phone, any brand, any storage for free for everyone, new and current customers. Plus, our price protection guarantee means your rates won't go up. Because locally grown connection is the gift that keeps on giving. Visit us in-store or online to get any phone, any brand, any storage free today. U.S. Cellular, locally grown connection. Limited time offer, terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Contractors, you're busier than ever this fall, but you've got this with high-quality building materials from Spahn & Rose, like GAF. Use the Spahn & Rose Visualizer to plan the perfect roof and blend an elegant architectural look with exceptional performance. GAF, we protect what matters the most. With several Spahn & Rose locations nearby, you can focus on life's other important things this fall. Spahn & Rose, buy easier, build better.
The holidays are for making memories, and Honda can help you make them. Whether it's hauling presents in a capable Ridgeline, going sledding in an adventurous Pilot, or traveling in a rugged Passport or CR-V. Make memories during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer.
New Hondas are arriving daily at your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
See dealer for financing details.
Hawk Talk live from the Hyatt Regency in the Iowa River Landing at the Edgewater Bar and Grill with Coach Fran McCaffery. Coach is enjoying a piece of cake celebrating his 500th career coaching win, as is everybody else here in the dining area. So thanks to those folks for coming out tonight. Let's give you a U.S. Bank scoreboard update before we return to Hawk Talk. By the way, our winning question tonight was submitted by Brandon on Connor McCaffery and perhaps a head coaching position somewhere in his future, and how smart Connor is on the floor and off the court and would be on the bench as a head coach somewhere. Well, Connor's got a lot of decisions like that to make coming up after this season, but right now the Hawks need him on the floor, distributing, shooting those threes, and helping his teammates. So congratulations to Brandon. He is our Authentic Brand Hawk Talk apparel feature winner tonight. A $100 gift certificate from Authentic Brand headed to Brandon. Designed and crafted with an exceptional attention to detail, Authentic Brand is our choice for Hawkeye Game Day apparel. Shop their exclusive selection at authentic-brand.com. Authentic-brand.com, where the service is always great, shipping is free. Make Authentic Brand your gear of choice this holiday. You can log on to authentic-brand.com and they'll get you all of your goodies by Christmas. Log on to authentic-brand.com. And attention Hawk fans who buy your own health insurance, Wellmark is on your side and on the health insurance marketplace. Let's give it up for plans you can afford. Check out wellmark.com/hoops to compare plans. Now, let's take a look at the U.S. Bank scoreboard tonight, courtesy of our friends at U.S. Bank. Here we go. I had it buried in my other papers. We have a lot of Sacramento Kings in the audience, Sacramento Kings fans in the neighborhood, keeping tabs of Keegan Murray as he progresses with his rookie season. The Toronto Raptors, coached by Nick Nurse from Carroll, lead the Sacramento Kings up in Toronto 83-78. That's near the end of the third period. Keegan Murray has 10 points, 3 rebounds. Not quite through 3 periods tonight. Toronto 83 and the Sacramento Kings 78. You heard Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder prior to our show tonight. By the way, congratulations to Lisa. Now the Big Ten's all-time winningest coach for conference wins with 234. So lots to celebrate this past week with Coach McCaffery's 500th win. And Lisa Bluder breaking the tie with C. Vivian Stringer to get to 234 Big Ten wins. Iowa convincing victory over Minnesota. Last time out. Up next, the Hawks will host Northern Iowa on Sunday, this coming Sunday, over at Carver Hawkeye Arena. 1:45 for the pregame show, 2 o'clock for the tip here on the Hawkeye Radio Network and the official YouTube channel of the Iowa Hawkeyes with Rob Brooks and Jamie Cavey Lang on the call. Now, college basketball tonight. Minnesota leads Arkansas Pine Bluff at halftime, 36-25. 17th ranked Mississippi State has a 1-point lead on Jackson State, 48-47. And while we're talking about Mississippi State, our condolences and thoughts and prayers to the Mike Leach family, the inventor, one of the architects of the air raid offense. A real shocker over the weekend. Mike Leach, been at Mississippi State as the head coach for a couple of years, died of a massive heart attack. Mike Leach, my first encounter with Coach Leach was in 2001 when he was at Texas Tech, had Cliff Kingsbury as his quarterback, and the Hawkeyes back to a bowl for the first time in a few years. I think it was Kirk's second or third year. Knocked out Texas Tech on a Nate Kading field goal late in the game and a Bob Sanders interception in the Alamo Bowl down in San Antonio. We'll never forget that. So we remember Mike Leach tonight and this week. Tremendous coach, great sense of humor, always had some of the best one-liners out there. Mike Leach passing away this weekend. 19th ranked Auburn trails at the half at home to Georgia State. Georgia State 31 and Auburn 28. And the Hawkeye Wrestlers up next. It's called the Soldier Salute. Thursday and Friday, December 29th and 30th at the Extreme Arena right up the street here in Coralville. Both days of the event can be heard on KXIC, our local affiliate here in Iowa City, and the official YouTube channel of the Iowa Hawkeyes with Stephen Grace and Mark Ironside. So a salute to our military veterans. Iowa Wrestling and Soldier Salute Thursday and Friday, December 29th and 30th. Help celebrate the Hawkeye Wrestling team's holiday at Extreme Arena in Coralville. That's our U.S. Bank scoreboard update. Well, you can book your travel now to Iowa's bowl game in Nashville with Travel Leaders Destinations Unlimited at HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central. That's HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central. Multiple packages to choose from, including motor coach transportation or hotel-only packages at Virgin Hotels Nashville. Close to downtown with transportation to and from the bowl game. Cheer on the Hawks and book now at HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central. And we'll see you in Nashville on New Year's Eve morning. Back with our concluding moments with Coach McCaffery on this week's Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency right after this on Hawk Talk with Coach McCaffery from Learfield.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? Let's break it down. Innovative tech means smarter and safer driving. Intelligent all-wheel drive will keep you ready for anything. And built Ford tough trucks will always get the job done. Plus, come into your local Ford store today and get super low APR financing, big cash back, and great lease offers on Ford's full line of cars, trucks, and SUVs. That's Ford, and that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Sales claim based on calendar year sales.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
When you set up a savings goal with U.S. Bank, it grows with you. There's no limit to what you can crochet. Can do. Doesn't have to be crocheting, but it totally could be. Like the headphones you're listening to this ad with, you could totally crochet those. There's no telling where your savings goal will take you. Maybe you'll save enough for yarn to crochet your house or the whole town. Oh, right. Doesn't have to be crochet related.
Set up savings goals on the U.S. Bank mobile app, even for the wildest of dreams. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome back to our remaining moments with Iowa basketball coach Fran McCaffery on Hawk Talk, live from the Hyatt Regency in the Edgewater Bar and Grill. We note, Fran, before we talk more Hawkeye basketball, the passing of longtime University of Iowa president Sandy Boyd yesterday. He was the 15th president of the University of Iowa from 1969 to 1981. He was here in some turmoiling times, but oversaw somewhat of a renaissance, the campus from the buildings, particularly in the arts, and Hancher Auditorium and Carver. And Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Bobby was just saying, Lute was a big fan.
Always around.
He was great for the athletic department, great for the basketball program. I mean, he just special in so many different ways.
He was here when Hayden was hired. He was here when Lute was hired. Dan Gable was hired. So he
3 for 3.
That's not bad.
3 for 3.
Three Hall of Famers, and of course C. Vivian Stringer too.
Yeah, 4 for 4.
Yeah, we should keep going here. But he, I had the pleasure of meeting President Boyd a couple times back in the 80s when I was covering the Hawkeyes, and real class act, real class gentleman. And I thought President Wilson gave a very eloquent statement on his passing and his life at the University of Iowa, which was filled with a lot of brick and mortar and a lot of, what was I reading? There were like 8,500 students here full-time when he got the job, and when he retired, the enrollment, I think, was just shy of 25,000. So
all about diversity and inclusion.
Yeah,
he was too
exactly.
early pioneer.
Yeah, and he's from, I believe, Margaret's hometown, St. Paul, the Twin Cities. Yahoo! She's got the fist in the air. Okay.
Went on to Field Museum in Chicago in '81, and then came back as a law professor, I think, here to the University of Iowa. So a very distinguished man, distinguished career as an educator, and a friend of many.
Indeed. So we remember President Sandy Boyd as well tonight. Funeral services are scheduled for, I believe, later this week, or next week, excuse me. Coach Henry, on Twitter, Big Ten expansion. We're getting word that the University of California Board of Regents okayed UCLA's move to the Big Ten tonight, so they have their endorsement. Not that UCLA needed it, but USC was always coming. That's a private institution, but how will it affect basketball? I know that's a general question, but have you had time to even give that some thought?
Really haven't. Just locked into what we're got going on right now, and that's how we are. But of course, when it happened in the summer, gave some thought to it. UCLA coming into your conference is going to increase the profile of the basketball situation across the board, and so will USC. Andy's done a great job there. For years, UCLA was the basketball school, USC was the football school, and that was that. But now they're good in both.
They are.
So I think, just looking at it from a conference standpoint, it strengthens the conference on so many different levels. 2 quality programs, similar philosophically from an academic standpoint, and it just makes us bi-coastal essentially. I mean, we
sure
cover the
does.
entire United States. So from an exposure standpoint, it increases the geographical footprint for opportunities to recruit. So it'll be interesting to see if we're done. I think that's the next question. Are we going to continue to grow? Does it benefit us to grow, or does it benefit us to stay right where we are?
Sure.
Because if you're going to add teams, then that has to be more money for everybody. And if you divide a certain amount of money by a smaller number of teams, obviously it's more for everybody
Divide
else.
the pie,
So the numbers got to go up. I think we all kind of feel like eventually we're going to, the SEC, they're going to get to maybe 20 teams. But right now, I think we're pretty well set at 16.
Coach, if they give you any reassurance on how you travel?
No, I think the only way to do it is partners. You go out there, play twice. They come here, play twice. Seemingly be more difficult for them to travel a lot, but everybody's coming to them too.
Got to be a plan.
I'm sure there'll be a plan, and for those two institutions to leave that conference after so many years, clearly they thought it through. It wasn't easy, as Doff pointed out, for UCLA, but they just felt like for the overall quality of the institution, quality of the athletic programs, it was a move they had to make, and kudos to Kevin Warren for getting that done. It's quite a coup for us.
Indeed. We have a question, Coach, that we can squeeze in here before we have to say goodnight. Kyle, on Carter Kingsbury, what do you like about Carter? Is he like his dad, like his shot, attitude, etc.? And what do you remember about his dad?
I remember watching his dad in high school. He was a really good player. He was a really good player here, great shooter. That's what he's remembered as, but he's always a tough guy. Carter is smart. He's probably the strongest guy on the team. If you measure in the weight room, he's really strong.
Thick.
But he's got a really good feel for how to play. He's got a great temperament. Makes shots, can stretch the floor and make threes. I didn't have any hesitancy at all to put him in that game on Sunday, and he performed really well for us.
Bobby, we've had some fun watching him and recalling his dad when he played at Iowa.
Yeah, you could see the bounce in his step when that three-pointer went in there from the right wing, and he was like, "Yeah, bring it on." He was ready to shoot it again. But
he didn't hesitate, did he? And none of us really thought he would. We were very confident he would just step out there, and he didn't force it either. It was a post-feed kick-out.
It was.
He just raised up and shot it.
I thought he had a couple other looks he could have pulled.
Yeah, I think he was aware that, hey, we got to move it, and then maybe you pull, but little by little he'll gain more and more confidence.
Enjoy the next couple days of practice, and we'll see you Saturday at Carver. Bobby, thank you.
Thanks, Dolph.
Coach, thank you very much. We've been coming live to you from the Hyatt Regency tonight with Hawk Talk and Coach McCaffery. And speaking of the Hyatt, December 17th, mark the date down, this family-friendly breakfast here at the Hyatt Regency includes a photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus. A cash bar will be available for mom and dad to enjoy the holiday, like mimosas and spiked hot cocoa, with a complimentary first drink for each adult. To make your reservation, visit the Hyatt Regency Coralville Facebook page or call 319-887-5004. 319-887-5004. Celebrate Santa and Christmas here at the Hyatt Regency. That'll wrap it up for Hawk Talk this week. We'll be back next week. Join us then. I'm Gary Dolphin. Thanks so much for tuning in here on the Hawkeye Radio Network. Iowa, Southeast Missouri, Saturday.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network, from Learfield, live from the Hyatt Regency, this has been Hawk Talk with Fran McCaffery, brought to you by Hyatt Regency, caring for people so they can be their best. Bud Light, it's for the fans. Brought to you by Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Hy-Vee, score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by U.S. Cellular, the official wireless partner of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.